Hello and welcome all to my YouTube channel Azure Beyond Demos. My name is Kunal Chandratre. After releasing part 1 of Basics Q public IP upgrade for Azure, I got like many questions on LinkedIn, really interesting and genuine questions about this upgrade from community. So I thought let me answer these. So what you see on the screen are the questions I'm going to answer for you. Plus, I got few requests to cover up demo for Azure Basics Queue public IP upgrade scenarios. So I'll be covering the demo of availability sets based virtual machines who are having the Basics Queue public IP. Upgradation of those public IPs to standard IP is something that I'll cover. I will also talk about few scenarios of Azure Load Balancer, Azure VPN Gateway, Express Route Gateway, having Basics Queue public IP and what will be the upgrade process. All right, so let's start with the first one. All right, let's start with the first one. Can I upgrade the IP address attached to VM NIC one by one? What do you mean by that? Let's say if I have this virtual machine and I have one NIC attached to it. And for this NIC, let's say there are many public IP addresses which are of basic queue. So let's say this is IP1, IP2, IP3, and IP4. So the question from community was, can I have these individual IP addresses upgraded one by one? Yes, you can upgrade the IPs one by one. However, the virtual machine NIC, you can attach either basic or standard SKU public IP. You cannot have mix and match wherein, let's say, you upgrade the IP4 to standard and then I attach while rest of the IP1, IP2, IP3 are still basic. That is not supported. So yes, you can upgrade one by one, but you will have to upgrade them first and then reattach all the public IPs after upgrade to the same NIC. Okay, hope that answers. Okay, second question. Can I create new NIC, disassociate all existing basic public IPs from old NIC, and then perform the upgrade to standard SKU and then attach to new NIC? Yes, you can do this. So the question is like this. So if I have this VM and there is a NIC to which we have multiple IP addresses, IP1, IP2, IP3, all are basic. Now, what the question 2 states that I will create another NIC, let's say NIC2, then disassociate all of these, upgrade to standard, and then attach to new NIC. Yes, so you can do this. A VM can have multiple NICs for sure, especially in case of network virtual appliances like Palo Alto F5. You always attach multiple NIC with virtual machine. However, the number of NIC that can be attached to Azure VM depends on size of the VM. So to attach extra NIC, you might want to check if current size of virtual machine supports attaching additional NIC. If not, then first you will need to increase the size of virtual machine and then attach the new NIC and then configure upgraded IP addresses on the new NIC. Now, if this is NVA, you will also have to see the private IP of this NIC2 will be different than the NIC1. So if this is a firewall like Palo Alto or F5, and then you have configured the rules based on, let's say, some private IP, then those rules will need changes. So it's better that you check how your virtual machine is configured or how much it is dependent on the private IP of this NIC, and then accordingly decide whether this approach of point number 2 suits to you or no. Third question, can I disassociate all existing public IPs from current NIC, perform the upgrade to standard, and then attach to same existing NIC? So it's like this. So I have a VM, on that there is a NIC, and there are multiple basic SKU public IP addresses. So the question is, first I disassociate all of these, upgrade them to standard, and then reattach to the same NIC. Yes, this approach can work if you are okay to remove IPs from NIC and reattaching them, this is fine. But if you see the part one of my video on this, the script that I have given does exactly the same. It first marks those IP addresses as static, then disassociates them, then upgrades them to standard SKU, and then it is all those IP addresses are reattached to the existing NIC. So instead of doing manually on point number three, it's better to use the script, which I already explained in part one of the. Okay, next point, point four. What if I have my public IP static, basic, and not attached to anything? Can I upgrade? Yes, this is the simplest scenario. Just upgrade all public IP to standard SKU using the script, which is available on the documentation. Or if you have a lot of time to kill, you can do it from the portal, your choice. So where can you see this upgrade option on the portal? Just open the public IP addresses. Now, as you can see on my screen, this particular IP address is basic and it is not associated to anything. And on here, on top, you will see an option to upgrade to standard SKU. So you can simply upgrade it from here. So what error it gives is your public IP is currently associated or has dynamic allocation. So first, as it is not associated, but this has dynamic allocation. So first I will have to go to configuration, change this to static, save it from here. Once this is saved, an IP address will be assigned to this. Okay, if you might have the static IP already, then just click here. Okay, and they say that when you click on this link on the Azure portal at the top, it says that you won't be able to revert back to basic SKU. I say okay, I acknowledge, and I say yes, and then directly from the portal itself, this IP is upgraded to the standard. So if you have any non-attached static basic SKU IP addresses, you can easily upgrade them from the portal or use the script. Anything is fine. Question number five. Does this upgrade involve downtime? If yes, how much and how can I calculate? Yes, downtime is required. When I performed upgrade of my two IP addresses in my environment, it took approximately 2 minutes. But it might happen that for you, it may take less time also. Now, taking 2 minutes as a benchmark, because I just did that in part one. So let's say if you have 300 IP addresses of basic SKU attached to virtual machine NIC, then will it take 600 minutes? I don't know honestly. Better when you are doing it, take sufficient calculated downtime. So let's continuing on the example. If you have 300 IP addresses, then say 700 minutes of downtime you tell to your supervisors. And if you end up early, then great, you can claim saying that we did finish the activity of upgrade before downtime and get an award. Point number six, is there a way to roll back upgrade in case of failure? Yes, in fact, if upgrade fails, a JSON gets created and using that JSON file, you can actually perform the rollback. I have pasted the link in the description box for rollback information. I have not tried personally. I do not have demo of rollback because my upgrade did not fail. Point number seven, whom I should involve during this upgrade activity. Ideally, you should involve Microsoft support on standby when you are doing this activity. Plus, if you are upgrading the network virtual appliances like Palo Alto, F5, Cisco, Checkpoint, then involve those experts and their support experts during the activity so that at least if anything goes wrong, you're not the only one who will be blamed. All right, then I got many questions saying I want to test this upgrade if it works or no. Then what can I do? So if we look at the common scenarios other than VM upgrades for basic IP to standard IP, the other common scenarios will be Azure Layer 4 load balancer, VPN gateway, or express route gateway for which basic SKU is attached. Now, as of today, we are sitting on April 4th, or in the month of April, I'll say. So there is no way you can create a new basic SKU public IP as per the documentation. Okay. And hence, if you try to provision now Azure Layer 4 load balancer, Express Route Gateway, VPN gateway, you will not be allowed to create or attach basic SKU public IP to these resources, right? So how can I test this? Well, I really don't have an answer. Possibly you can contact your Microsoft representative and see if they can talk to the engineering team of Microsoft, and then they allow you to create these resources on a temporary basis, and then you can perform the upgrades, do the testing of your scripts and environment, and then actually perform the upgrades in your production environment. But I don't know if that will be allowed, but there is no harm in checking that. Okay, now it's time to demo about IP upgrade for availability set based VMs. So this script that you see, that we understood when we wanted to upgrade a single VM having basic SKU IP upgrade, either one or multiple. This particular script that you see over here is specifically for more than one virtual machines which are in availability sets and are also having basic IPs attached. So let's understand what we're trying to do here. So if I go to my whiteboard, okay, so I have two virtual machines, V1, V2. Both of them are part of an availability set. V1 NIC has two public IPs, IP1, IP2, basic, and then the NIC of V2 has IP3. Now all these IP1, IP2, and IP3, all of these are basic SKU IPs. Now I'm going to run the script on Azure CLI so that both the VMs present in availability set having multiple basic SKU public IPs will be upgraded at the same time. Let's understand the script. So the script that I used, that you see on my screen, that was used for upgrading of single VM attached basic SKU public IP. Now when you have multiple VMs in availability set with multiple basic SKU attached, then you have to use this module that you see on my screen. Okay, that is Azure AV set basic public IP upgrade. Now the process is same what we did in part 1. You install the module, then you import the module, then you use what if attribute to check if everything is fine and upgrade is possible. This is just a validation, and then same command is run without what if attribute to perform the actual upgrade. Now here an important aspect that we need to see is the resource group here which we are mentioning should be of your availability set. So no matter in which resource group your public IPs are based, that doesn't matter. As long as you provide the resource group of your availability set, then the upgrade should go successfully. I have not tried a combination wherein availability set is in resource group 1, virtual machine in resource group 2, NIC in resource group 3, public IP addresses of basic SKU in resource group 4. I have not tried that, but at least in my situation, virtual machines, availability set, NIC are in one resource group, and only the public IPs are in different resource group. Okay, so now let's try this script. Okay, so I have three public IPs of basic SKU, AV set IP1. It is attached to firewall 1 device and it is in basic SKU. I go to AV set IP2. This is also attached to firewall 1 machine. This is also basic. And then AV set IP3. This is attached to firewall 2 and this is also basic. Now both these VMs are part of availability set. Okay, so let's check that as well. So I go into availability set, and you can see that both the machines are part of this availability set. Now I'm going to perform the upgrade for this. Okay, so install the module. It is taking too long. I don't know why. Okay, it's doing it. Right, then import the module. Import is also done. Now run the what if attribute to see if everything is good. So it is analyzing and it is checking if the upgrade is possible or no. And it says that there is no warning or error. That means upgrade is possible. So I just clear this window and paste again. But here, oops, sorry, let me just remove the what if and enter. So it says, do you want to continue with the, so what it says, let me read. Okay, this script will upgrade. This will cause brief interruption to the network connectivity. Do you want to continue? Yes. Cool. So it has started the upgrade process, selected all, setting all public IP addresses to static first. So there are 3 total. All right. So finally the upgrade process is complete. Let's have a look at actual IP addresses. IP1 attached to firewall machine 1 upgraded to standard. IP2 attached to firewall machine 1 upgraded to standard, and final IP which was attached to firewall 2 also upgraded to standard. Great, so this completes my overall upgrade process. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.